back to your Daily Dose. My name is Robert. I'm here with the Spazzy Magoo, also known as Amy. I can change that name. I
No,
like.
no, don't ever.
Okay, good.
I might
Spazzy.
get a tattoo.
Yeah, please. And if you were watching the last episode, which I hope you were, you saw when things got uncomfortable for Amy when she came from her world, of both in now were you a lawyer with the law firm, or were you there like
No,
communication
I was their marketing director, their
marketing director?
communications director. Yeah.
Got it. So
So,
that's your world.
yep.
You're helping out with kids theater. A kid
Yeah.
basically bullies you into
Challenge me.
being
Yeah.
doing what's scary for you. You show up and you're like, hey, this is going to be no problem. I'll just be me, this version of me. And it sounds like, give me kind of the Reader's Digest version of this. They broke you
Oh,
down.
yeah. I walked in. I thought, oh, I got this. I walked in thinking I was super cool. It was half men and half women. All the women were in marketing, like me. There's nothing unique about me at all.
Mm.
So here I thought, oh, I've got all this like cred and whatever. And I walked in and I got paired up with a kid who, if he was 22 years old, I would be amazed. He had his like hat on sideways. I mean, he said, okay, we're going to do 5 minutes of nothing but eye contact. And I got to tell you, I have never been more uncomfortable in my entire life because I had this kid right across from me just staring. I don't think he blinked once. And every single insecurity I had bubbled up to the surface because someone was just staring at me. And I'm like, oh, he's counting all the wrinkles. Oh, he's like, women have mustaches. I mean, it was every negative thing I ever thought about myself came bubbling up. And it was really unexpected.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I don't like this. And then I was like, okay, and he's like, everybody just like take a little break and then we'll go around the room and meet everybody. And I gave people my background and they're like, great, like we were not impressed. And then went to the next people and it was fine. And then we got into it. We started doing some exercises. We touched on some yes and blah, 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 blah. And I walked it out. It's 2.5 hours long. And I left going, well, that is not what I thought it was going to be. I don't like that. And then I got in my car and I was literally crying
Mm.
because that was not what I expected. I expected it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go be funny. We're gonna go like, and we were funny and we did laugh together and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did learn some rules. Again, this was my first exposure to it at all. And then I drove home and about 15 minutes, by the time I got into my driveway, I had processed what had happened, what
Yeah.
some of the rules that we touched on were, and I went, oh, I get it. It was like a Tetris game had like fallen into place.
Yeah.
I got out of the car. I walked in my house and I was like, I had two kids, my husband. My kids were in middle school, formative time of life. I said, gather up. All right, I signed up for this class. I signed up, I showed up, and I literally said to them, I'm taking all of these workshops and I am going to be a player at Comedy Sports.
And
They're the
what did they
only
just go, what is wrong with you?
no, my kids didn't. My kids said, that's super cool.
What? Can you package that and do it? I have middle schoolers. They don't do that.
Well, I think they just wanted me out of the house
Oh, okay.
once
All
a
right.
week for 3 hours, honestly, because I laid out, I was like, guys, I want to commit to this. And like, they're the only people I told that like I
Yeah.
wanted to get on the wall. Like in Milwaukee, you get on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And I just like kept that inside. That was my goal. And then I am not kidding you. I had left a job and my improv journey was completely parallel to my job search.
Mm.
And by the time I got through 103, I had gone through like revamping my resume, finding my own voice, doing all this stuff.
103, third, the
That
101, 102, 103 in your guys' division, just so people
yeah,
know what you're talking about.
at the time, 103 was as far as it went.
So the third session of Comedy Sports. Yeah,
Third session of Comedy Sports.
yeah.
And by the time I finished my third session of Comedy Sports, I had interviewed for a job that I was so confident in, and it was totally due to improv.
Yeah.
I swear. I walked in and I was like, it's so great to meet you. I was like, look, I literally said, the base reality, improv term, is you are not going to have anyone walk in here with the background that I had, or anyone that is more perfect for this role. So
Okay.
we can beat around the bush, or we can just like, let's just go. And they were
So,
like, okay.
yeah, this is awesome. The journey is awesome. We're going to come back here on the next episode, and we're going to open with base reality. I want to get geeky on
Okay.
that just for a minute, because
Me
that is a great
too.
term, and I think it's going to, it's going to open some doors. So we'll be
I
back in the
thought
next dose. See you in a minute.